Okay, so now we deal with now the identities. Okay, deal with the identities. So I hope you can see the identities. These are identities. Yeah, that is how there is formulas or the procedures in which you can derive this, but no one will ask you to say derive this formula, derive that formula, derive that. Yeah, so just have to master them. Yeah, say the root of alpha squared plus beta squared is this. Then the root of alpha plus the root of beta is that. Then yeah, so make sure you pause the video, then you copy this. Once you copy this, then make sure that you're able to master them. All right, so these are identities. The identities, know them. I need to write I know them, but know them. Know them, please know them. Okay, so a question might come. It say that they may given the equation, say given the equation 3x squared minus x squared plus 20, which is plus 2, sorry, it's equal to 0. Then they say whose roots are alpha and beta. Okay, then they say find the values of, let's say a, say alpha squared plus beta squared. So we have to know the identity of alpha squared plus beta squared. So what's the identity of alpha squared plus beta squared? So its identity, it's alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta, right? You have to know this. All right, then from the basics which we started with, we know that alpha plus beta is what? Negative b over a. Then alpha beta is c over what? Over a. Right, then we have been told to find what's the value. All right, so the solutions, so we can say alpha plus beta, which is equal to negative b over a. Then we can say alpha beta, which is equal to our b. This is a, this is our a, this is our b, and this is our c. All right, then so negative, the negative which is already in the formula, negative, then negative 8 over our a is what? It's 3. All right, then a, alpha plus beta, which is equal to 8 over 3, like that. Then alpha beta, we know that it's c over a. Then alpha beta, which is equal to, our c is what? Our c is 2. Then our a is 3. So alpha beta is 2 over 3, like that. Okay, and we have been told to find what? The value. The what? The value. Okay. We have been told to find the value. All right, so since we know the alpha plus beta, it's 8 over 3, then alpha beta is 2 over 3. So we can replace now here and there so that we can find what's the value. So alpha squared plus beta squared will be equal to alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta, which is equal to alpha plus beta is 8 over 3. Here we have found 8 over 3. Then we square it, minus 2. Then alpha beta is 2 over 3 there, which is equal to, if you square this, you get 64 over 9. Then you subtract it from, if you multiply this to give you 4 over 3, then there common denominator it's 9. So 9 into 9 it's 1, 1 multiplied by 64, it's 64. Then subtract 3 into 9, it's 3 times 12 times 4, it's 12. All right, then from there, if you subtract, it will give you 52 over 9. So alpha squared plus beta squared for this equation, it's 50 what? It's 52 over 9. So the one important thing is just remember this formula and that formula, then you come up with something like this. Once you come up with something like this, then you remember what the identities. For example, they might give you alpha power 3 minus beta to the power 3 to find for this given question the value. So just have to remember the identity for this, then you replace these two. All right, so we move on now. We move on now. Now say the general formula. General formula to find the equation of the roots of alpha and beta, like that. Okay, so sometimes you may be asked to find so you may be asked, say, given the equation, say given the equation, maybe say 3x squared plus 8x plus 2 is 0. Then they say find the equation for alpha and beta whose roots are, so whose roots are, maybe they say 1 over alpha and 1 over beta, like that. Okay, so from here we know that the general formula, it's x squared, then it's minus sum of the roots x, then plus the products of the roots, which is equal to 0. Okay, which is equal to what? This is equal to 0, like that. This is the general formula. So from this, just have to find the sum of the roots, or maybe let me just say the new root, even here the new, and the product of the new root. That's all instance behind this question. All right, so this one, first we find what? First we find the sum of sum of the new roots. So by finding the sum of the new roots, we just add. Sum means what? Addition. So we say 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta, like that. Then how can you add this? This can be added by finding the common denominator. Then you proceed. All right. Then this will be, what's the common denominator for alpha and beta? So it will be alpha beta, like that. Then from there, now we can say alpha into alpha beta. It will be with beta, then beta multiplied by 1. You get beta, then plus beta into alpha beta, remain with beta. Remain with alpha. Then alpha multiplied by 1, remain with alpha, like that. So then this will give you alpha plus beta over alpha beta, like that. So this is what? The sum of the new roots. All right. The sum of the new roots. Then the product, it will be 1 over alpha, then you multiply. Product means what? Multiplication. Then over beta, like that. Then this will give you 1 over alpha beta, like that. Okay. Easy stuff, huh? Then from there, now we can get now, what's this? The equation given. All right. So we have 3x squared. Okay, let's just put here a minus minus 8x plus 2x is 0, like that. Then we know that this is our A, this is our B, and this is our C. Then in the previous video we derived these formulas, this and this, right? So you can say alpha plus beta is negative B over A. Please know this. Then alpha beta is what? It's C over A, like that. Okay. Then from there we can proceed to say, let's find now the alpha plus beta, then the alpha beta, so that we can replace them here. We find the product of the new root and the sum of the new roots. Okay. So alpha plus beta is B is what? From this B is what? Negative 8. So negative 8 over our alpha, our A is what? It's 3. Then there you get 8 over 3, like that. Then alpha beta will be equal to C is what? C is 2 over our A is what? 3. Okay. Now we can replace them, since our sum of the new roots, it gave us alpha plus beta over alpha beta. Then the product of the new roots. Product of the new roots, it gave us 1 over alpha beta. All right, then we find their values. So alpha plus beta, it's giving us what? 8 over 3. Then over alpha beta, it's 2 over 3. Then this can also be written as 8 over 3, then being divided by 2 over 3. Then 8 over 3, if we change the sign there, put a multiplication, the denominator becomes the numerator, then the numerator becomes the denominator. So you have something like 3 over 2. Then there it can go. Then here 1, there 4. So here we remain with what? 4. Here you remain with a 4. All right. Then this part we say 1 over alpha beta. Alpha beta is what? 2 over 3, like that. Then this is equal to 1, then b divided by 2 over 3. Then this we can balance it with a 1. Then it will be 1 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 2. Then this will be 3 over 2, like that. Then we know that our general formula is x squared minus sum of new root multiplied by x, then plus the product of new roots, then which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0. So then the sum of the new root, we have it as 4. Then the product of new root, we have it as what? We have it as 3 over 2. So we can say x squared minus we replace now the sum of the new root, which is 4, x plus the product of the new root is what? The product of new root is 3 over 2, which is equal to 0. Then x squared minus 4x, if you multiply this 4 by x to give you 4x, then plus 3 over 2, which is equal to 0, like that. Okay, then you can say we can multiply this by 2 so as we get rid of some fractions. So it will be 2x squared, then minus 8x, then plus 3, like that, which is equal to what? It is equal to 0. So this is now the equation. This is now the equation whose roots are alpha and beta. Okay, this is the equation of whose roots are alpha and beta. So this is the whole concept behind this. That is the whole concept behind what? Behind this kind of the questions. First, you know the formula, then you find the sum of the new roots, the sum of this new root. This, the sum means addition, you add to give you this, then multiplication, you multiply to give you this, then you come back to this, find alpha plus beta, then you find alpha beta, then there you replace, then the value which you get, then you replace them in what? In the general formula, then you get what? The equation.